Welcome to another exciting episode of BW Flix. I am your host, James J. Train Martin, and it's my host, BA Brian Arndt. And we are here again for another exciting episode to talk about our favorite thing we like to do outside of talking about sports. We like to talk about movies. And today, as you all know, we'll be talking about Eight Men Out, and we'll be talking about Major League. And boy, I can't wait to talk about the latter because I'm just gonna just let the cat out of the bag. I'm a huge fan of Major League. Is I saw it when it first came out, and I've been watching it ever since. I'll probably watch it at least twice, three times a year. I'll just put it out there like that. Brian, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. Yes, doing great. I
Excellent,
think both these movies are
excellent.
pretty good, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Just,
I didn't want to let the cat out of the bag. I just wanted.
yeah.
I'm only letting one out of the bag of Major League, but yes. Um, Thank you all for watching, and thank you all for joining our show. We've been seeing a lot of spike in our viewership, and we continue. We hope that will continue. And if you like us, please watch us on YouTube. We are live right now, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. And if you like us, please like us, watch us, subscribe to our channel, and share with your friends. That being said, we will get started. We are going. Our first movie we're going to talk about tonight is Eight Men Out, and this came out in 1988. I'm not going to give you the superlative because that's my partner's responsibilities. And B, if you will, go ahead and let them know.
All right. So, like, Eight Men Out came out, like you said, in 1988. It was directed by John Sayles. It was based on the book Eight Men Out by Elliot Asanoff. It was starring John Cusack as Buck Weaver, Clifton James as Charles Kaminsky, Michael Lerner as Arnold Rothstein. Christopher Lloyd was also in this movie as Bill Burns. John Mahoney as Kid Gleason. He is the coach of the team. Charlie Sheen, Happy Fletch. David Stratham as Eddie Ciotti. D.B. Sweeney as Shoeless Joe Jackson. Michael Rooker as Chick Gondel. That's how you Gondel? Yeah, Gondel. Don Harvey as Swede Reisenberg. James Reed as Lefty Williams. Perry Lang as Fred McCullum. Gordon Clapp as Ray Schalk. Other ones in here, we were just talking about this off screen. Kevin Tighe, Sports Sullivan. He's the guy that sets up the whole gambling thing for the Black Sox. And he was in, to my amazement, I forgot that he was in early episodes of Emergency, which was a TV show that ran from 72 to 77. I grew up watching that. He was also our owner of the bar that was in, what was the name of the movie?
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
The Double Deuce.
And cinematography was done by Robert Richardson. Music by Mason Darling. It was distributed by Orion Pictures Corporation. Release date 2 of September of 88. Running time is 119 minutes. The budget, $6.1 million. But you know what it made at the box office? $5.7 million. It was pretty much a garbage movie to the public, but it was a very good movie. I think we had this discussion earlier. I think it's the fact that at the time, what's up, Rob Dizzle? That's another movie we gotta do. It's another movie we got to do. But yeah. I think at the time, nobody wanted to see the dark side of baseball because baseball was really at one of its heights at this time period. So I don't think anybody really wanted to see bad stuff about baseball. You know, this can't happen, but it's true. It's based on facts. It's based on reality.
Facts. Yep.
Right.
And that's why, like you said, it probably didn't do well at the box office, but it still holds as a classic. As you mentioned, the IMDb score about a 7.1 and Rotten Tomatoes is 87%. That's really what matters. I mean, obviously, I think they probably would have liked to have made a lot of money at that time. Yeah, you're right. Plenty many jag-offs, jerk-offs, or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, but let's get to the synopsis and talk about the story of this movie. So in 1919, the Chicago White Sox were a dominant team, and they were considered among one of the greatest teams in baseball to ever be put together. They are, not, however, they are not to be rewarded under the guise of a stingy owner named Charlie Comiskey, as my partner just named, and also Kami, the nickname Kami. I was like, okay, these guys are crazy. We kind of know what that term meant back then and what it still means to this day. So it's pretty funny that he had a nickname like that. But it probably stuck because he didn't pay anybody any money. So maybe that's probably why they call him that. But that being said, uh, he uh, he didn't really pay him like he was supposed to. He was pretty stingy, but a few of the guys got together, including they got with a sleazy gambler by the name of Sports Sullivan and Sleepy Bill Burns and and Bill Billy Mahart. These guys got together to find out about players. Players that were discontent and to ask players about what was going on. I'm losing it here. My handwriting is terrible. Forgive me, y'all. So to ask Chick Gandil, to convince several players to earn more money, roughly about 10,000 apiece, to set the game up to series to throw the series, and ultimately, you have to forgive me with these names because is it Sakoti? Is Sakati?
Sakat. Yeah,
Ed,
Sakat.
is Eddie Sakat was motivated because the owner Eddie Sakat had a record of 29-7, and he was promised that if he win 30 games, he'd get an additional bonus for $10,000. Well, the owner he confronted him about it and said he wanted the money, and the owner told him no. He said that you got to win 29 games. I believe that was the 30 was the number, and I'm not going to give you $10,000 for that. But turns out the owner's a bit shisty because he took him out 2 weeks ahead of the end of the season, and he didn't. He could have won two of those games. He said himself, which I believe he probably could have. So this is purposefully done to not pay that guy the money. So that being
Mhm.
said, a lot of these guys had motivation to stick it to their owner and to get some money out of the deal, and they didn't really care about the about winning the World Series against the Cincinnati Reds. That being said, there were a couple of players who went against it, including Buck Weaver, because he wanted to win. Hey, how you doing, Liz? The series began and they lose the first game to the Reds 9-1. Chicago journalists grew suspicious, and so a lot of clamoring about them, particularly they thinking that these guys were going to throw the game because of how the play happened. Gleason, the manager, believes in his team, and he tells them like he believes they're going to bounce back. They lose the game too as well, and so things look awry. But two of the players in Game 3, including they do some pitching changes. Sakat is not starting, and they start the rookie pitcher Dickie Kerr, uh, who's not privy to the scam that's going on. So he plays lights out. He plays lights out. The catcher plays lights out, and Bucky Weaver plays lights out, and so does shoeless Joe Jackson, and they end up winning that game. Sakati loses another game in Game 4. He's still on the take, of course, and the Sox lose Game 5 as well. The Sox, with their backs against the wall, win Game 6 in extra innings. Sakat feeling guilty because he was getting ready to start the next game, but the manager wanted to take him out because he just wasn't sure if he was going to give him his all, and he begged him to stay in. He said he would give it to him, and he did, and they ended up winning that game. Uh, that being said, they end up losing the series, and the reason being, Lefty. What was Lefty's last name? I can't think. What was Lefty's last name? Lefty
Lefty
Williams.
Williams.
Lefty Williams.
Yeah,
Lefty Williams
Lefty
was the
Williams.
other pitcher. He was going to continue to play until he got threatened. His wife got threatened to. He was going to. He said, "You guys made a deal. you should keep your deal. But if you don't do this, somebody's going to take your wife out. If it's not me, it's going to be somebody else. So Lefty took the advice, played a bad game, and they ended up losing that game. After that, they were all charged with conspiracy. Sakat and Jackson signed confessions admitting to the fix in 1920. And let me see, Fullerton writes an article condemning the White Sox, and an investigation begins. So all these guys, most of these guys confessed, and they were promised that they would get acquitted, but they weren't promised that which they didn't know, that they would be banned from baseball. When a new commissioner came in, he banned them from baseball permanently, and including Bucky Weaver, including Shoeless Joe Jackson, the guys that knew about it, they still were considered conspirators, and so they definitely got banned. And at the end of the movie, Sakat, I believe Sakat sees, or is it Weaver? No, it's Weaver. Excuse me. Bucky Weaver watches Jackson play in a semi-pro game, and a lot of fans out there, they're looking and say, "Is that Joe? Is that Jackson, Shoeless Jackson?" And he says, "No, it's all those guys. Those little guys are long gone. They're not playing." And Weaver tried unsuccessfully to get back into the league, but it was overturned until his death until he died in 1956. Very good movie. I know we probably have a clip. If you want to play a clip for us, that'd be great, my man.
Okay, so just to set it up for you, this is the end of the court, and you're going to see two different opinions from players. You're going to see Charlie Sheen's character, Happy Fleisch. He's going to be sitting on a bar. He's going to be admitting to the fact that he took money because of this and because of that. Then you're going to see Shoeless Joe Jackson come out of the courtroom and face the media. And there's two different emotions in this, and it's kind of sad to see the last part. But the first one, of course, it's basically what I think that's why they threw these games. So let me go ahead and put that in for you here.
Yeah, the word is you made a bundle.
Yeah, sure, I saw some cash. They promised us all 20,000 each, but all I saw was 5. What am I going to do, call a cop?
You look pretty good out there for a guy dumping games.
Something must have come over me.
You mean you double-crossed the gamblers?
No, I'm a man of my word.
So, why'd you do it, Hap? Somebody lean on you?
Everybody else was getting some. And I figured without the pitchers we're going to lose anyway, so why shouldn't I get fat too? Maybe dumb, fellas, but I'm not stupid.
Well, that wasn't so bad, was it, Joe?
Kind of felt good to get it off my chest.
You did the right thing, Joe. We're proud of you.
Joe, over here. Hey, what'd you say, Joe? Were you in on it?
What's the story?
Hey, Joe. Come on, who was the big cheese? Who did all the brain work?
Why'd you wait so long to spill it, Joe?
Hard guy.
What's that?
Mrs. Sweet is a hard guy.
Joe! Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so.
Pretty much became a moniker. If you didn't realize that, when people watched that movie, as few watched it, that was something. Say it isn't so, Joe, and people don't realize that came from that whole situation back in 1919, because that was an actual kid that admired Shoeless Joe Jackson, and they used to play baseball. He used to do a lot of stickball in the streets and stuff like that. He used to just go and play with the kids. And pause. But anyway, but he would go out there and play
play baseball with the kids.
Stickball with the kids. Yeah. So he was pretty familiar with the kids, and the kids really admired him. And especially this one that said say it isn't so, Joe. So yeah, this came out of that. It was sad. That was part of sad. But you can see though why some of the baseball players threw the game just based on what Charlie Sheen's character said. So
yeah, and I would leave it to the character of men and women. I mean, I'm not here to judge them. But at the same time, I like you say, you could see why they would do it. But at the end of the day, what was the benefit of it towards the end when none of them could get back in baseball, and that's what's devastating. And then of course the letdown of the young innocent that look at them and look up to them, and just be let down totally like that. Man, you can see both sides. I get it. I totally can see that. But my big question is, how's the direction, the editing, and the cinematography of this movie? Uh, I like the dark setting, let's say, with the cinematography, because it kind of sets the theme of how this movie becomes dark, in regards to the scandal of the gambling, the corruption in sports, and how it eventually affects everybody's lives in one way or the other, whether it was the gamblers who didn't get their due, uh, the people who participated in the players that participated in these sport corruption, and how it affected their lives, how it affected their families' lives. It was conveyed well. I thought it was wonderfully conveyed in regards to you're setting up, even though you're only seeing the baseball players live. I mean, intermittently, and you only see a few players with their families and stuff like that. They still interact. You still feel like with them and their interaction with the kids that are out there. They're playing with them. I mean, yes, playing stickball with the kids, and you can see what's conveyed as like these guys. This is a blue collar group. You know what I mean? And they're being cheated, like you said, out of their money. They're making $6,000 a year. Some of them. Back then, that really wasn't a lot of money. I mean, people think it was, but it was for an athlete that's at the top of their game. That's not a lot of money at that time. And to be told that you're going to have a bonus and you're cheated out of about one game, not that you couldn't make it to the end, you just got benched and you weren't allowed to even try to make it. That it conveyed a great point. You see the feeling in it regarding those players, and you can see why they would do what they do. But I mean, but also at the end, you can see how the consequences from the actions of the guys, how it was actually portrayed, and especially at the end when you see the guys trying to get back into baseball and they couldn't. They knew they made a mistake. But what else? Directing. I like the direction in that, and the editing was good. What do you think about those three?
Well, I think the cinematography was good. It portrayed baseball in 1919 the way it would have been. His parks are a lot smaller. Cincinnati was like going to one of my cousins back in the late 90s or late 80s, going to one of their little league games because it looked like a little league field, but it was a major league field. So like the Reds was like, whew, that's a bad field in a movie. But yeah, the cinematography was really good. I think the direction was really good too. I think all the characters and the actors really blended together well. And a few facts about this movie that I kind of get left out. Arnold Rothstein, dude was a gangster in Chicago in the early 1900s to I think about 1930, somewhere around there. And he was the guy that put this together. Now, if you kind of said, dude, that dude looks familiar. Michael Lerner, who played Arnold Rothstein, he also played Bugsy Calhoun in Harlem Nights.
Absolutely.
That's another gangster. Same gangster. Another gangster. Same thing. He's got typecast a lot as being a gangster because he plays one so well.
Yes.
But yeah, so there's that element as well as the commissioner that they assigned, Kennesaw Mountain Landis. He was not even they just assigned him to be a commissioner because they needed somebody from the outside to look inside to get rid of all the dirty baseball that was going on at the time. And he was actually a court judge, something like a circuit court judge or something like that. Yeah, he was something like that, a circuit court judge. And he was tough. He was a tough guy. And that's the reason why they assigned him to be the commissioner. And he was the one that banded the 8 guys from baseball.
Yes. And I never knew before I saw this movie a couple of times that I didn't understand what 8 Man Out meant, but now I mean not now, but I knew it when I saw it for the first time when I saw the movie. And yes, I agree with you about the judge, but in the actors, I mean that kind of segue into the next question about the chemistry between the actors and for the actresses as well. Um, I thought it was very good. I wasn't it wasn't great. I didn't see any like stellar award winning acting, but I saw a lot of great. I saw good acting. I saw very good acting, and I thought that particularly I like the shoeless uh, Joe Jackson guy. I can't think of his name, but
WB
you
Sweeney.
really yes WB Sweeney. You feel he really conveyed the sort of innocent uh, character of it. I mean, because he wasn't highly intelligent at all. He was an excellent athlete, but they made fun of him in the media that he can't read, and or somebody in the crowd was yelling at him, "Can you spell cat?" You know, he said, "Can you spell shit?" He didn't say that. He just said he didn't spell it out, but he asked the guy and shut him up. But he wasn't quite so stupid after all. But that being said, I really like how he portrayed that character, and you just say, like you said, the interaction with the kid at the end when he came out of the court. He seemed to get duped every chance he got, and until he understood that he was being duped. And when the little boy kind of just really gave that emotion that and let him know that like, wow, was it really worth it? And it wasn't. You know, you see that it wasn't worth it when he saw the reaction of the kid. But yeah, I thought there was some good acting in the movie. How about yourself?
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point about Shoeless Joe too. There's a part just before that court scene when he has him sign papers, and you know how he signs his paper with an X. He couldn't sign his own name on it. So
He was
it shows you
illiterate.
how
Wow, yeah.
uneducated he was in that time and age. He was just a baseball player, and that's the reason why he's getting duped so much. He wasn't thinking about that. He's saying, well, I'm going out there and playing ball. And that's why he was such good, he was so good at his sport, because that's all his mind was focused on. He wasn't focused on, how much I'm going to make, what's for dinner the next night. I'm focused on this, so it was, that was kind of a good point that was brought out about Shoeless Joe Jackson. He wasn't exactly the brightest spark in the, dynamite candle there. So
Not the sharpest tool in the shed, for sure.
yeah, not the sharpest tool in the shed. Yeah.
I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Say it ain't so, Joe. It wasn't.
Say it ain't so. Now, the last question is always that: do our movies hold up in 2020? I mean, like not 2026, but now. I would say 2026. I would say yes. This movie absolutely holds up. Why? Because it's talking about sports gambling and the corruption that's dealing with it. What bigger time than we talk about sports gambling and corruption than now? All the guys in the news right now. So yes, this is something that's age old, that's been before 1919, and it's still going on in 2026. So yes, it still holds up. And I mean, it's a different time, different era, different culture, but gambling is all still the same. And the movie still holds up. There's nothing cheesy about it. It's nothing that you look at it and say, wow, that's like, what, they did really do that? I mean, but yes, it was a great biopic. I thought it was a very good movie, and I'm going to go ahead and rate it right now, and I'll let you tell you your thoughts. It's 4 buckets of popcorn for me. I thought it was a very good movie, and it's something that would hold up today in 2026, and I think it'll still hold up in another 10, 15, 20 years from now, because of the way things going now. This is something everybody should be watching to just see how things can turn if you do certain things like that.
I'm not gonna go as far as saying 4 buckets, because again, all those guys that were in that movie was basically a lot of their acting career, starting of their acting careers. Not their first film, but in the midst of their 1 or 2 to 3 films that they've already made. Charlie Sheen already was obviously one of those guys that had made a name for himself. But your boy Michael Rooker and a few other, WB Sweeney was just starting to make his run, and then John Cusack was just starting to make his No Campbell, yeah. Going into that whole situation later on in life. But anyway, yeah, so it's I like the direction of the story. It was a true story, so you really can't. It's kind of like what's going to happen at the end of the movie. For people who follow sports, it's kind of like the Titanic. It's going to sink. A lot of people are going to die. So it was kind of. With that being said, I gave it 3. I ain't not trying to do too much of the 4, but I gave it 3. It was pretty good.
Fair enough.
I gotta say.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. My buddy gave a 3. I gave a 4. Again, we think it's a good movie. We think it's something. If you hadn't watched it,
it's a good
you
movie.
should. We both think you should check it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I
Check
give
it
it a
out.
2, don't watch it. If I give it a 3, watch it. 3 and up is watchable.
Yes.
If you give it a 5, you can watch it like 20 times. But if you give it a 3, a couple times is all you need to do is watch it. But yeah, that's how
5 is a classic. 5 is a classic. And just speaking of which, if you're out there watching our show for the first time or the first couple of times, we broke it down to what we give buckets of popcorn for. One is, do we still have that up? We still have that? No, never mind. I'll just say 1. Yeah, 1 is bad. 2 is meh. You watch it one time. Yeah, 2 is pretty. It's okay. I mean, 3 is pretty. It's good. 3 is good. 4 is really good, and 5 is a classic. Well, 5 is extremely good, but then 5 with extra butter is a classic. It's a classic. So, well, I think we both only named 1 with extra butter, or maybe 2 on this show since we've been on here. I mean, Sinners was 1, and I forgot the other movie that we might have done that did 5 with extra butter. But yeah, that being said, again, if you don't know the rating system out there it was for you, and we're going to move on to our second movie. Now, this is my favorite part of this episode because I am a tremendous fan of Major League. I thought there was a lot of great things in there, but I'm not going to get into that. Came out in 1989 and has a high rating, IMDb 7.3, and Rotten Tomatoes 83%. And I'm going to let the rest of this be told by my fellow co-host, B.A.
So this movie did come out in 1989, a year after 8 Men Out came out. And it stars one of the same actors in it, Charlie Sheen. This is directed by David S. Ward, produced by Chris Chelser and Irby Smith. It's starring Tom Berenger as Jake Taylor, washed-up catcher from the Mexican League, whose knees are like on the verge of breaking any minute. Charlie Sheen, who was in a Pinot baseball league. Actually, he was recruited out of prison. He's a pitcher who has a fastball, but he's just all over the place with it. It's a very good fastball. Corbin Burnson.
Why he's nicknamed the Wild Thing.
Wild Thing. And Corbin Burnson is the third baseman, Roger Dorn. Roger Dorn is like the cream of the crop of the players they have on this team, but he plays like, he doesn't want to get himself hurt. We know some players in any sport now that we like, no, get hurt because it might hurt my contract. Margaret Whitton, she is the owner of the Cleveland Indians, who inherits it because her husband dies. And she does not want this team to succeed. James Gammon is Lou Brown. He is the manager. He managed the Toledo Mud Hens for 30 years, which is a Detroit Tiger affiliate, by the way. They're their AAA team. Renee Russo is Jake Taylor's ex-girlfriend, and she's also a Olympic athlete. And she turned Liberian. They wanted to get engaged, but he went to Mexico. All kinds of crap went on with that. Wesley Snipes, dude, was center field. Willie Mays Hayes. What does he say? He plays like Willie Mays and bats like.
You may run like. No, you said you may run. You may run like Mays. You may run like Mays. Willie Mays. You may run like Mays, but you hit like shit.
Like shit, right? Charles Cyphers is Charlie Donovan, the general manager. He used to be the coach of the team, but Rachel Phelps' character, Margaret Willington, makes him the GM. Dennis Hybert is, you see him in the State Farm commercials. You're in good hands with State Farm. My also on the Waiting to Exhale. He's been in a few movies. You'll know him. Pedro Soriano. Dude is defected from Cuba, and he is practicing his religion of voodoo with Jobu. And of course, we have the always adorable Bob Uecker as Harry Doyle, just a bit outside. Yes, that Bob Uecker that used to do the Milwaukee Brewer, the Milwaukee Best commercials. He used to do the commercials for that beer. So
yes.
You'll remember he passed away. He passed away about 10 years ago. It's been a while since he passed away.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah. So he was, but he was really funny. He played in a lot of movies too, as of being a funny guy. He is really he was funny. He made this movie too, I feel. So
oh man, his commentating is gold because he had so many one-liners in this movie. But that being said, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. The distribution was by Paramount Pictures and J&M Entertainment. Release date was April 7th, 1989. 106 minutes running time. Budget was $11 million. This one made $75 million at the box office, so it did pretty well.
Nearly 7 times the amount. Wow, they crush the box office, and that says a lot because, like you said, both these movies were made 1 year apart, and yet one crushed the box office, and the other got crushed at the box office. So, like we said, he probably didn't want to see anything dark about baseball. And this movie that we're talking about now is lighthearted, family fun. I don't know if it's family fun. I mean, parental guidance is suggested.
Right.
But it definitely you can laugh, cry, and it had so many mixed emotions in this movie because it was just a feel-good story. A feel-good story, and it starts out pretty bad because right now I'm about to tell you how it starts. Rachel Phelps, Margaret Whitten, you mentioned her, and rest in peace, Margaret Whitten. She's deceased. I think she died of breast cancer or something like that. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but she portrays the Las Vegas showgirl who married the owner, the late deceased owner, and she was bequeathed the baseball team. And she wanted to get out of Cleveland. She didn't want anything to do with Cleveland. It's, as we know, as the cinematography, we talk about how the setting is. It's a dreary industrial city where we're talking about a bad team that lived in a bad city. It's just not good. And she wants to get out of there. She wants to move to Miami. Miami's offering her a spot there, and there's a loophole. The way you can get out of the loophole, get through the loophole, is by not having sufficient attendance. And so if you don't have sufficient attendance, you have a loophole where you can get out of that contract and you can, or lease, and you can move. But that's what she wants to do. She tells that to the general manager, tells the general manager, we need to fire all the good players. They do. They fire all the good players. They hire all the, as you mentioned, the aforementioned has been and rookie players that came from out of nowhere. No good places. Like one of the guys in the movies, they're reading about the paper, like, who the F are these guys? who are these effing guys? And even the Japanese guys that work on the groundskeepers, they're shitty. These guys are shitty. And even if they got to 60 and 61, they're still shitty. Or maybe he said not so. Or he said maybe they're not so shitty. Yeah. That being said, they hired Lou Brown, like you said, from the Toledo Mud Hens, and he gets a team together. Yes. Dude, that's if for people don't know what this term mean, Cleveland Steamer. So I mean, we don't want to get into that, but you go look it up. That being said, let's see here. Yes, so they get all these players together. After the first cut, the players struggle to make a good impression. they do exactly what the owner, Rachel Phelps, thinks they're going to do. They're not winning. Eventually,
It's a
yes.
line to
Oh
use.
my God, that's the best line. The best line. It makes you want to cry almost. I'm just saying,
Mhm.
but they get together. They start getting things together. But Vaughn, as we talked about him being a high velocity pitcher, but he can't see. They found out he can't see, so he ends up getting glasses. And of course, Dorn is the prima donna, like you mentioned. They get in the game. They can almost win the game if as a hit happens, Dorn lets the ball gets past him to third base, but they end up winning the game anyway. But Dorn and Taylor have a meeting at his house, and he virtually tells him that if you shortchange the team again, he's going to take his, cut his
Foot up, right?
off and stick him out his throat. Yeah. Yes.
With his
I'm gonna
wife
say everything
standing
he
there.
said. And with his wife saying, it's like, tea, coffee? He said, no, I'm out of here. And so that does strike a chord with him, and he does play better. The whole team starts to play better. The morale and everything starts to get better.
Yeah, the one-liners that come out of this movie are really good.
Oh, man. Yes. See, when the morale, Yinzer, when the morale gets better, Rachel Phelps started to take everything from her. She started taking amenities. The whirlpool breaks down. They have an airplane. They get out of the regular airplane. They get into a cargo plane, and they're shaking and dropping and everything like that. And Serrano gives the sign of the cross on his head, and Harris says, "Oh, so now you want to trust him now? He's not fooled." And while he's saying he's not fooled, he's holding a Hustler magazine in his hand while he's saying it to Serrano.
Yeah.
So the hypocrisy is hilarious. This movie's crazy. That being said, they go from the airplane to the cargo plane. They go from the cargo plane to the terrible, outdated travel bus. And it's just, yes. Right, exactly. You now, wait, hold up. You may hit like Mays, but you say you may run like Mays, but you hit like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, Serrano.
Take that shit.
I like Serrano.
Take that shit to Mima.
Right.
All right. So the whirlpool's broken. However, they figure out a way, and they improvise, and that's what you see. You begin to see in the movie a collective improvising and camaraderie of a team of guys. All of them were friends. All of them were great, but they taking the best of each other and trusting each other and believing each other, and they begin to win. And now you find out the general manager comes and tells Lou Brown that, hey, that she wouldn't even think you guys were going to get this far, but she's trying to get you guys done and fire you all at the end of the season and move to Miami. So with that being said, Lou Brown has a meeting with the team. He tells them what's going on, and of course Jake Taylor says, well, in that case we just got to do one thing: win the whole fucking thing.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take that shit to Mima.
Yeah, right.
All right. That being said, they get motivated, and with their motivation, they actually have a placard of Rachel Phelps with her with the animal skin dress on. But each win they get, they take a piece off, and the more they win, they get the full skirt off or whatever. And eventually, they do win, and they tie for first place.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yes,
sacrifice.
Yes. What was Willie Mays said? He said, "Man, Serrano says he wants a live chicken to sacrifice."
People gonna be throwing up.
So he said people will be throwing up, and said, "We can't do that, man." And so he gives them a bucket of KFC.
He says,
but then at the end, they get to the end. I mean, they get to the seventh in that game, because right now I'm skipping it. The game itself is a playoff runoff between the New York Yankees and the Cleveland Indians, because they're tied for the top in the AL East for the division. And so they're down 0-2, and Serrano's striking out. He's got 2 strikes, and then Willie Mays like, maybe we should have gotten the live chicken.
That's one of my favorite lines. One of my favorite lines in the movie too, when he goes back up to bat Serrano and he looks at his bat and he goes, "Well, since you do not listen to me, Jabu, fuck you, Jabu. I'm doing this for myself." There you go.
Jabu.
That's how you do it.
Jabu, I need you. What he said, I need you.
Right.
You know, help me right now. I say, fuck you, Jabu.
Right.
I do this myself. And he does. He does hit it. And of course, pandemonium goes on because Dorn before that was on first base, and so it's a 2-run homer, and they tie the game 2-2. And of course, Harris, who at the beginning of this game when he was practicing on the mound, Joe Boo was standing right next to him on the mound because at first he drank Joe Boo's rum and got bad luck and he got hit in the head with a bat. But that being said, Harris is having a bad game at this point. He pitched a really good game, but he gets taken out. And they call Wild Thing in. He comes in, and of course Dorn meets him at the mound, and he said, "Strike this mother effer out." And then he walks over to the back to third base, and Clue Haywood comes into the game. The guy that's been knocking Vaughn's balls out of the park. Pause. And he strikes him out with 3 heaters, and then of course the Cleveland Indians come out to bat, and Mays gets on the first base, and then Jake comes out and he puts his hand out as if he's about to homer like Babe Ruth. He said, Doyle says, no one's made their call since Babe Ruth, and of course the guy that's pitching didn't like that. He threw the ball at his head. And then that's when Serrano said, "Take that shit to me, man." And then, of course, he strikes out. I mean, he strikes in the second pitch. And, of course, Hayes steals the second. And then this is when he finally bunts, makes it to first. And as soon as he makes it to first, Hayes goes around to third. And they're making the call, and they put it in slow motion. And I got to call this game the way he called it. I mean, he's running. He's going for home, and he slides, and the catch it. By the time the ball comes, it's too late. Safe. The Indians win it. As Liz said, the Indians win it. The Indians win it. Oh, my God, the Indians win it. And pandemonium throughout the whole team, the manager, the dugout, everybody, the team. I mean, the fans, everybody comes out. It's like this part of the movie the first time I saw this movie, my eyes welled up because you saw from the beginning to the end and how they transition and how losers, even eternal losers, can be winners at some point. And of course, they win the game. And of course, Jake gets his woman back. She doesn't get married to the lawyer. She comes back and gets with him. And of course, Dorn punches out Ricky Vaughn for sleeping with his wife, which he didn't know, but he still punched him out. But then he after he punched him, he picked him up and hugged him. And so no hard feelings after that. And then that's pretty much it, man. I mean, great movie. Man. First question, directing, editing, cinematography. I thought it was great, man. I thought it was great cinematography. I mean, I want to stick with that first because, again, the movie was in the setting of abysmal Cleveland. It was just dreary. Cleveland is an industrial city. The team they chose to do it in. That's what made the movie great. Yeah. That's what made the movie great is that it was probably one of the worst cities to go play in, and one of the worst teams. And at that time, because Cleveland wasn't great at all at the time in real life, and so they made it. It was, even though it was fantasy, it was a great story. It was a great feel-good story, and they made it from the lowest lows, and finally they made it to the highest highs in that movie. Directing was great. They touched base on all the players and different parts of their lives and who they were. They developed characters here, and I thought it was great. The editing was good. The comedic timing was great for all these players. I mean, the actors. When I say players, I mean actors in the movies. Harry Doyle, the character Harry Doyle. I thought Lou Brown, the James Gammon, the guy that played him, he played a great manager. He pissed on Doyle's contract. in public, out in the field. It was just hilarious. Like this is definitely a guy that managed a Triple A team for 30 years because he was no nonsense. Uh,
Philadelphia's got too much championship grit. That's the difference.
right, exactly, right.
Cleveland didn't have that.
Didn't have that. What do you think about the directing, editing, and um, cinematography? B.
Well, I did have a piece on this, a little snippet of this movie.
Oh yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, sure.
The aforementioned last game against the Yankees, the hated Yankees. It always seems like that when you have baseball movies, the Yankees have to be involved some sort of way, and they're always the enemy. And you kind of cheered for Cleveland in this movie because it was, I'm not a big Cleveland. I'm not a Cleveland, and they're in my division, so I'm not a Cleveland fan. But at the same time, with this movie, you could probably say, yeah, that would be a good team to cheer for because they come from nothing to something. And you know what this movie reminds me of? Even has some dialogue that kind of carried over to the movie. You know what this movie reminds me of? The Replacements. Almost the same exact thing, except baseball. That's right. That's basically it. Okay, let's get to a couple. Yeah, it was perfectly executed. Yeah. And, okay, so this scene here is, of course, the championship. Well, the division. I think not division, but like the playoff go-in that they had between the Yankees and Cleveland in Cleveland, and this is what's his face. Taylor, after he gets up. Now, another thing that you didn't mention is like the first time he did the pointing up in there, he got thrown at. And then the second time he pointed up there, that's when he got the bunt because that's what he was trying to do the whole time. He kind of screwed him on that. He was like, oh, but you'll see that in this video. Anyway.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Taylor bunts. Comes the throw. He slides. He is safe. The Indians win it. Oh my God, the Indians win it.
The picture of the owner, she's just like, damn it.
Oh, she is sick. And she, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to talk about the second movie, but she was sick in that movie too. Yes, great film. And you can go ahead with your thoughts on the directing and cinematography and editing.
Yeah, I believe directing was great. Like I said, this was another movie that had really good chemistry with all the actors and actresses in this. The little things that went on behind the scenes besides them having to win all these games. Dorn and his wife catches Dorn on TV after they celebrate winning the division. She sees him going into a room with another chick, and this is a reason why she picks on Wild Thing to go to bed with, and that's how that cheating thing happened. But he didn't know because she comes out the room and she says hi to Taylor. Taylor's like, "Did she just come out of Wild Thing's room?"
He's like,
I didn't know. So every time Dorn was looking through him, for that this game against the Yankees, he was looking for him all the time. He's like, you said where Wild Thing went? And he was like, no, I ain't seen him. Then he was out in the field, and he came over to when he was on the pitcher's mound, and Taylor was like, oh, shit. He thought he was going to punch him there. But and they didn't do that until the end of the movie. Yeah, so there was that aspect. And, of course, the librarian, that was Taylor's ex-girlfriend, and she had the thing going on with the lawyer. The lawyer was treating him like he was stupid.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I mean, everything worked out well. It's one of those, every movie after that, though.
Terrible. Charles Barkley, terrible. Yeah, and I'm going to segue. You just mentioned the editing. I mean, the acting chemistry. That would have been my next question. I think all the actors portrayed their characters well for what they were supposed to be. You got what it was. You understood their assignment and who they were supposed to be. Serranos was supposed to be the heavyweight Cuban defected. Yes. Serrano with Dennis Haysbert, and of course Dorn was the prima donna who did the financial guru. He didn't care about baseball as much as he used to. Jake was the old has-been all-star catcher with the bad knees. Ricky Vaughn, the penile system reject, and who couldn't see well but had a high velocity pitch. Everybody played a role. Willie Mays Hayes, the guy who was fast but couldn't hit, but you saw the growth and maturation of every character throughout the whole movie, and the tight unit of their camaraderie, which was great. I thought it was great. Would this movie stand to the test of time? I think it does. I think still to this day, just the story. I can watch this movie over and over again and still be moved. I'm still laughing at the lines. I'm still rooting for them to win, even though I know the end of the story. I want to see from the beginning to the end. As a matter of fact, it's got different little nest, what do you call it, Easter eggs in it. My man that was unaccredited, he was walking through. He shook hands with somebody. It was a director. That was F. Gary Gray, Straight Outta Compton director, Set It Off director, Fast and the Furious, one of the movies. This is the guy that made $1 billion, the first African-American director to make over $1 billion. He was just a walk-by stand-in in the movie. I didn't know who he was until later when I knew who F. Gary Gray was. I saw him walking with the Cleveland shirt. He was walking past somebody and they shook hands and he was smiling and walked off. He was just somebody in the crowd. And I was just like, I know who that guy is. It's just things like that. It made the movie for me. And it's just like, again, it still stands up to the test of time. I'll go ahead and give my rating for it, and I'll let you tell your side about that story and your rating. I'm giving it 5 buckets of popcorn just because maybe I'm just nostalgic, but yeah, like I said, I watch this movie 2 to 3 times a year, and I even sometimes more than that because it's just such a great story. And you see a really bad team and how things are able to turn around. But that's it for me. And also, what gives it a 5-star rating for me is the alternative ending, and you get the idea of why the owner was the way she was. She just wanted to get everybody motivated to try to win. She loved her husband and she loved the team, but she talked to Lou in private and made sure he wouldn't tell anybody. But again, it was the original ending. They just changed it because they didn't like it at when the people go see it prior to the movie actually coming out. Some people didn't like it, so they changed the ending. But that was the original ending, and I like the alternative ending myself.
Well, 5 is that's a lot, but I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yeah.
I think it was a very good movie. That's something I would watch a couple of more times. It's on the same level. Like I said, it's on the same level as The Replacements. I watch that movie a lot of times. I watch Major League every time it comes on. So both those, and I'm not the biggest baseball fan, but when that movie comes on, when Major League comes on, I do watch it because it's funny as hell. I love the people that played in it. It was just all around great. And like I said, the Harry Doyle, Bob Uecker, he had some one-liners in there that were just as hilarious as all the rest of the one-liners that were in that movie. And he said, the post-game show is brought to you by, he's shuffling through his plane. Hell, who cares? That was great. He was up there drinking in a booth and stuff like that. It was great. We're gonna get that to you just near the end there, Matt Yinzer.
All right, but we need to do the bio. So the bio is of James Gammon, the guy who played the manager Lou Brown, the guy that told Dorn, "Don't get in front of the damn ball, Dorn. Don't give me this old lady bullshit." Yeah.
No, what did he tell Willie Mays Hayes when he caught that? He caught that, like, he did this and he goes, "Don't ever catch that shit again."
He said, "Willie, great catch. Don't ever fucking do it again."
Do it again.
So James Gammon was born April 1940. Unfortunately, he passed in July 16, 2010. But early on, he worked as a cameraman and a director in Orlando. Thank you. We appreciate you. And a cameraman in Orlando for a local TV station affiliated with ABC. Acting for him began in the 1970s. He helped start the Met Theater in Los Angeles and got his first bit in a Western stage play by Sam Shepard. It was called The Curse of the Starving Class in 1978. He and Sam worked together on several plays.
Yeah, that's when that owner came in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So shouldn't you put something over that?
I'm too old to be diving in the locker.
Right.
Somebody get that bitch out of here. I want to talk to her. Let's see. Yes, he also was Dodge in another Sam Shepard's play, Buried Child, receiving a Tony Award nomination for that performance, and would later on be matched up with Nick Nolte, Sean Penn, Cheech Marin, Woody Harrelson, and in the late Henry Moss in 2000, which is another play by Sam Shepard. Let's see here. Of course, he was in Major League 1 and 2 as Lou Brown. He would be the father of Nash Bridges, as his name was Nick Bridges, on the show Nash Bridges. And some of his filmography, I'll just name a few movies that he was in. He was in Cool Hand Luke in 1967, Macon County Line 1974, Urban Cowboy in 1980, Which Way Is Loose? Any Which Way You Can, 1980, Silverado, 1985, Noon Wine in 1985, the Milagro Beanfield War, 1988, of course, Major League, 1989, Revenge, 1990, The Adventures of Huck Finn, 1993, Wyatt Earp in 1994, Wild Bill, 1995, Truman, 1995, The High-Low Country, 1998, Cold Mountain, 2003, and Opelousas in 2008. He was married with 2 children until his passing, his second marriage. And the guy Sam Shepard, who put him in his place, he said he gave a tribute to him when he passed. He said this is a guy that had that aura of what he knew as a child. He saw guys that was grizzled, rough, and had whiskey. And so he was just that type of guy, and he portrayed those characters well for him. And we rest in peace, James Gammon. But that being said, we will come back. I know you want to know the email, Yinzer. It is bwflix2026@gmail.com. Again, that's bwflix2026@gmail.com. And we got 2 movies that we're gonna review next week. This is the JCVD BW Flix episode. So Jean-Claude Van Damme. We're gonna do Time Cop and Until Death for Jean-Claude Van Damme. Hopefully you'll like these movies. If you don't, that's why we're here, to review them and let you know what we think about them. And we appreciate you for joining us. Please join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook. And if you like us, please like us or like the show, subscribe, and share with your friends. You got anything for us, B?
Nope, you said it all there, James.
Yes, sir. We will see you next Tuesday. Have a great night. And again, see you next time.